please join me and the star of the show, the reason that the Ellie in Space channel exists, the box that started it all, the original Starlink.
Point stage, engine arm action.
Shuttle has cleared the tower.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is that a floating moon? And am I not 300 feet tall anymore? Hey guys, I have been torn all day about whether or not I should film a video, and it's because I'm still setting up my studio here in Austin. I've only been here not even 3 days, so I've made good progress for sure, but I'm like, hey, you know what? It's okay if it's a little bit more casual of a video because some of this information I don't want to be outdated by the time this studio is completely set up, and I want to give you just a little tour and tell you, what the past few days have been like because, well, it has been very eventful moving across the country. The nice thing though is that now I am not 500 feet tall. I was using my mom's office before, and it was bad. With that being said, yes, I still need to figure out a few things. For example, there's a lot of headroom in this shot. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm gonna set up that shelf behind me. I have a lot of stuff to do, but I wanted to make this video, number one, to bring up the fact that Ellie in Space is celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the channel. And if you didn't know, which many of you probably don't know this, Ellie in Space almost didn't happen. A lot of you ask how my channel started, and it's really because I started covering Starlink. My boyfriend at the time ordered a Starlink unit, and it was in the Better Than Nothing beta days, and we decided to test it out and do a review of it. Here it is, streaming a 4K video on YouTube without any hitches, but unfortunately, well, yeah, trying to play that game was just not working out for us. And we definitely made some errors. We didn't realize that you couldn't go so far away from the service address. But the point being is that the first video that we tried to make, we drove over an hour away and we tried to set the Starlink up. It wasn't connecting to his Tesla. And long story short, I was so frustrated. I thought maybe no one will care about this. This is not working. What a wasted day. And I'm very glad that I put in the effort to make a second attempt at the Starlink video because that one really did get a good amount of views, even though we had all those errors. So anyway, it's just crazy to see how far the Ellie in Space channel has come.
To infinity and beyond!
I mean, really, last year at the beginning of the year, I was starting things off big, interviewing Scott Manley at his house. That was super exciting. And this January, or I guess it's February now, this year, I'm starting off the year by moving to Austin, Texas, because I really believe this is going to be the best place for me to be to bring you coverage. Obviously, we're still awaiting the Starship orbital launch, but that should be happening hopefully next month. So I will definitely be there. And I'm also excited that I have NASA press credentials. So at the end of this month, I'll be covering the Crew 6 launch from the press site. It's really rewarding to see all of the progress my channel has made. And if you are not subscribed to Ellie in Space, please click that subscribe button. It's completely free. And it puzzles me as to why I have so many returning viewers that are not subscribed. So I definitely have some big goals for this year. 2023 is already off to a great start. And this is my home studio here in Austin, Texas. So I'm excited to get this more decorated, hopefully get a teleprompter. I want to upgrade some of my gear so that my videos are better for you. And speaking of Starlink, it's back in the news again, this time because former NASA astronaut and US Navy Captain Scott Kelly tweeted at Elon Musk. He said this: "Ukraine desperately needs your continued support. Please restore the full functionality of your Starlink satellites. Defense from a genocidal invasion is not an offensive capability. Its survival, innocent lives will be lost. You can help. Thank you." Elon did reply saying Starlink commercial terminals, like other commercial products, are meant for private use, not military, but we have not exercised our right to turn them off. We're trying hard to do the right thing, where the right thing is an extremely difficult moral question. You're smart enough not to swallow media and other propaganda BS. Starlink is the communication backbone of Ukraine, especially at the front lines, where almost all other internet connectivity has been destroyed, but we will not enable escalation of conflict that may lead to World War III.
Scott Kelly, the astronaut, said to Elon Musk, "Would you please re-up your Starlink internet so that the military can use it in Ukraine?" And Musk said, "The Ukrainians are going to lose, and I don't want a further death and destruction." It can be used for ordinary communications. It can be used for humanitarian purposes. If you're stuck in a building that's crumbling and you can't get out, you can get on your iPhone and connect to Starlink and tell the local authorities where you are and that you're alive and well. But if you are the Ukrainian military, you can't use Starlink to locate where the Russians are so you can shoot them, because Musk doesn't want to be part of the war. He just wants to be part of the humanitarian efforts. My hat is off to him.
Well, let's dig a little bit deeper into this now and speak to independent journalist Mike Jones. Mike, good to see you today. What do you make of SpaceX's decision to limit the use of its Starlink service? How significant could that be, perhaps, as regards the conflict?
Thank you. Yes, I believe it could be very well significant, but in a very specific manner. I find it quite suspect that Starlink would specify, as Gwynne Shotwell, the CEO, did in her announcement, drones in particular. We've known for the entire conflict that drones have been used for spotting artillery and maximizing casualties on Russian servicemen. So why now? My personal belief and opinion that this stems from reports from acting governor Denis Pushilin of the DPR, and following his claims of the use of chemical weapons. This was accompanied later by a video of Ukrainian servicemen proudly showing off cyanide hydrogen chloride canisters that were being dropped by drones.
Was the move then by the company justified in your view?
I believe this horrified Elon Musk personally, particularly following very disturbing footage of the consequences of the delivery of these chemical weapons, which are a war crime and prohibited by international law. So I believe this is a direct reaction of his abhorrence.
So SpaceX did indeed take steps to prevent Ukraine's military from using Starlink satellite internet with drones, because the service was never intended to be weaponized. SpaceX President Gwynne Shotwell said this at an FAA space transportation conference on Wednesday of last week. She said using Starlink with drones went beyond the scope of an agreement SpaceX has with the Ukrainian government. The contract was intended for humanitarian purposes like providing broadband internet to hospitals, banks, and families affected by Russia's invasion. Now, after Gwynne's comments, a Ukraine official criticized SpaceX for restricting Starlink's use by the military. So do you agree that restricting Ukrainian access to Starlink is in fact preventing a World War III escalation? There have also been so many other updates with Starlink in the past few weeks, and I haven't been able to make a dedicated video to every single update, but I wanted to let you know one really good piece of news. According to Gwynne Shotwell, she says SpaceX's Starlink satellite internet had a cash flow positive quarter in 2022, and they will finally make money on Starlink in 2023, which is huge and wonderful news. As we know, in the past, Elon Musk has said Starlink should only be considered a success if it merely avoids bankruptcy, because several companies have attempted this and failed. And this is the concept of a low Earth orbit internet satellite constellation. And there is a growing demand for Starlink, and that's why we finally know that the SpaceX facility, the not so mysterious one that's here in Austin, is actually going to be a dedicated Starlink production facility. So I'm going to be making a trip out there pretty soon, but there have been multiple job postings on SpaceX's website. Some of these descriptions say, to meet growing demand for Starlink, we are opening a new Starlink factory in the Austin area to manufacture Starlink products. So those are just a few of the updates. I will be making a video soon about the next version of Starlink, a mini Starlink, because I have some interesting details about that I would like to share with you. But before this gets too boring, let me just take you off the tripod. We used to do this when we were in the news field. So, because we would set up our own shots alone. So the fire, as you can see behind me, is blank, blank contained. There's no fire. We would do that. That was a trick. I'm not doing it very well because I don't have the right setup anyways. So I got my bookcase back with my 3D printed models here, Falcon Heavy, we have Starship. I made this like tie scarf out of the Cyber Rodeo wristband on TeslaBot. I really think it's cute. A lot of badges. I'm really racking up the badges, which is kind of cool actually. Cat, yes, cat for sale. But buy one, get one free. Okay. Still have to hang some stuff up. Still have hung some stuff up. May need to move it around though. I mean, check that out. That was actually really hard to set up. Okay, really hard. It only took me about 5 minutes. Okay, and this is the stuff that you don't see. We don't need to focus on that. My room is still a disaster. And yes, I still have the bikes, but this time they have their own corner. They're not behind me in every video, which I think is great. And neither are the cat boxes, also great. I just think this thing is so cool. If you get it off balance, it'll snap and it's kind of hard to balance. But I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I'm still setting stuff up. If you are in the Austin, Texas area, let me know. I want to do a meetup soon because I know that there are a lot of subscribers here in Texas, and so that would be really fun, but I'm just beyond thrilled to be here. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you're curious about the behind the scenes of the move, I will link that video right here. You can watch that on my other channel, which I am going to be making more personal content and also Austin related content. So if you're interested in that, it's right there for you. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to bring you more coverage. Obviously, if any of you have moved, you know that it takes a while to unpack and get the things organized. So I'll see you in the next video, and I can't wait.